What's going on, Schmoeville? Look, here's the bottom line. I get it. Make your car comments now. Thing is, this guy's going out of town.
It's a Jeep, not a car.
Whatever. You're going out of town, but this is how important this review is. It's Spider-Man. Spider-Man Homecoming.
He's back.
He is back, and he's back in a different way, and he's back home with the Marvel Cinematic Universe combined with Sony. Tom Holland is your brand new Spider-Man in his own movie, and I gotta say, this movie is awesome.
Yeah, this
really
movie is fantastic, and when you see the trailers, you know Spider-Man is back, and you're like, oh, well, is it going to be too MCU heavy? Is this an Iron Man movie? Is this Iron Man 4?
It's not.
It's Spider-Man's movie. You get to see all facets of Spider-Man, which is his high school. You get to see him being a superhero. You get to see him policing the streets of Brooklyn. This actually had a nice tie. Sorry, I would never do that to you. Right. Is that it almost feels like he's like the Luke Cage of his block, or he's the Daredevil of his block, but he's also got these MCU movie-like abilities.
And he's got a good couple of jokes in his back pocket, too.
It's a really funny movie.
You've already heard the kind of the comparisons of the John Hughes element just from stuff that we saw at Comic-Con, and people have been talking about it, and it absolutely delivers, and they do it on purpose. What I really liked about the movie was that they showed Peter Parker not only as this kid who is trying to be a superhero and try to come into his own. It's him trying to deal with being a kid also in his life, and with his friend, and trying to impress Tony Stark and Jon Favreau and all this stuff. It really, there was some really fun moments, and I think what they did well that I happen to like in other particular comic book movies in the past was that it didn't just go for the joke. It fit with it. It had a cool, warm humor to it.
Very natural flow. Tom Holland is amazing as both Peter Parker and Spider-Man. I liked all the kids in this movie, all the high school kids. I felt like I was there. They felt authentic. And then when you get to good guy versus bad guy, you need a good villain in the MCU. If you have a criticism to levy against it, it's probably you haven't had a great menacing villain. Vulture, played by Michael Keaton in here, is scary. He is up close. He is in your face. And he's got a thicker storyline than you might expect.
I was worried about him at first, because when I first saw him, I was like, oh no, is he going to overcamp this whole thing? And he doesn't.
How dare you?
He doesn't.
With Michael Keaton.
He doesn't.
He's a legend.
And he, it really works. And like you said, and it reminded me, actually, there's a lot of, I think there's a combination of things I remembered from Danny Elfman's score. There's stuff that I learned from Sam Raimi's movies. There's absolutely, I felt some Willem Dafoe in a little bit of the Vulture. I felt there was a lot of things in here that reminded me of what was the greatness of the Sam Raimi movies, for sure, combined with brand new things that we hadn't seen before.
Right now, we talk about this as clearly Spidey's movie, but when you do get to see Iron Man, I really enjoyed the interplay between him and Tony Stark.
Wasn't thrown in there.
No, and the head of security, Happy, played by Jon Favreau. So I was a big fan of all the performances in this movie, and John Watts is a guy who we didn't really have a lot on this guy going up to Spider-Man Homecoming. I thought Cop Car was fine, but a very different movie.
You wouldn't expect him to do something
He really
like this.
injects sense of humor in here naturally. The action is well-paced. I liked so much this movie. It's not my favorite movie in the MCU. It might not even be my favorite Spider-Man movie, but I thoroughly enjoyed this start to finish. I had a big fat smile on my face. I crushed both my corns, and I stole a little bit of Mark Riley's. Shh, don't tell him. I'm going to go pretty high here. I'm going to go 4.5 out of 5 schmoes for Spider-Man Homecoming. What you got?
I thought the directing was really well done. I thought that it kept a good pace. I thought sometimes the action just kind of blended into itself after a bit. I thought they could have scaled back a little bit. Thought The Friend was okay sometimes. Again, Michael Giacchino, better score than Rogue One, but still sometimes I felt it was just it blended into things that I had heard a million times before. Small criticisms for an overall really great movie. Tom Holland is an absolute star, as is Michael Keaton. This is a great addition not only to the Spider-Man universe but to the MCU. I'm gonna go 4.25 out of 5 schmoes.
I mean, everybody whose name I can remember, whether it's Holland, Zendaya, Marissa Tomei, Robert Downey Jr., Jon Favreau, Michael Keaton, Joaquin Woodbine, loved everybody in there. Now it's y'all's turn. Comment right now and let us know, what are y'all excited about Spider-Man Homecoming? Have you seen it already by the time you're watching this review? That says it all, Kristian. Remember, check out our friends over at Loot Crate, New Box of really cool stuff every month.
And what about over there? Somewhere, right there. If you subscribe right over there, then you'll see more of our videos.
And
there's also our live show that we do.
It's SCHMOEVILLE.